In the last session, we discussed about the electric potential. Electric potential is nothing but the work done per unit charge to bring a charge from infinite distance to a finite distance in an electric field. There we do a work which is against the electric field. That work per unit charge can be called as the electric potential. And after we discuss the what is the electric potential due to the point charge, and what is the electric potential due to the system of charges, and after we derive what is the potential due to a dielectric. Okay, after knowing this electric potential, we discuss what is the potential energy. Potential energy is nothing but the work done required to move a charge from infinite distance to a finite distance in an electric field. That is known as potential energy. That what is the potential energy in case in the presence of electric field and in the absence of electric field, and also we derive what is the potential energy due to a dipole when it is placed in a uniform electric field. Okay, so that is the total concept related to the electric potential. And now we are going to discuss about the extension of that one, another concept, that is capacitance. What is the capacitance? Here the capacitance is nothing but it is a device that has a capacity of store large amount of charge in a small space. That is, capacitor is a small device. In the small device there is a small space will be there. In that space we store large amount of charge, then that device can be called as the capacitor. Here the capacitor is arrangement is made with two conductors which are separated by an insulator. This is an interesting one. See here, the capacitor is arrangement is having two conductors and those two conductors are separated by an insulator. And here the interesting thing is conductors. What is the meaning of conductors? The conductors we already discussed in current electricity. The materials which are allows the flow of current, that can be called as the conductors. And here insulator. What is the meaning of insulator? The materials which does not allows the flow of current, that can be called as insulators. Here the interesting thing is capacitor is a storing device. It is store the charge, large amount of charge in a small space. But whereas the capacitor is comprises with two conductors are separated by an insulator. This is an interesting thing. You know that conductors are which are allows the flow of current, insulators are which does not allows the flow of current, but by the arrangement of these two the capacitor can be formed. See that arrangement. Here we have two conductors. These can be called as conducting plates. These two conducting plates are placed parallel to each other. These are the conducting plates. Here the charge can be taken as plus Q, here the charge can be taken as minus Q. In between these two conductors we place a material. That material is called as insulators, and it is also called as dielectric. This is a so first we have to know about the capacitors. We need to know about what is the behavior of the conductors in electric field, what is the behavior of insulator. That insulator is nothing but dielectric. Okay, what is the behavior of the conductors and what is the behavior of the insulator in the electric field? First we discuss about those, and after that we discuss about the what is the capacitor.
Oh.
Okay. Now we discussed that a capacitor is the arrangement of two conductors separated by an insulator. First we have to know what are the properties of conductors and insulators. Okay, here conductor means which allows the flow of current. For the flow of current the charge carriers are helps, means the conductor is which conducts the electricity, that can be called as a conductor. We have certain example for conductors. Those are metals. For example, if you take the copper, aluminum, gold, these type of materials can act as the conductors. And salt solution, earth, human body, so like that these can be acts as the conductors. Insulators means which do not allows the flow of current, that is known as which do not conduct the electricity, that can be called as the insulators. Example for insulators can be taken as paper, wood, and we take the plastic, rubber, and these type of material, mica, these can be taken as the insulators, means which does not allows the flow of current. And now here conductors has free electrons. Due to the free electrons, the flow of electrons is known as the current. So conductors are having the free electrons, but whereas this insulator does not having any free electrons. All the electrons are tightly bounded with the nucleus. There are no free electrons, but here free electrons can be there. Due to that, conductors will conduct, but here there are no free electrons. Due to that, insulators cannot be conduct. But by the arrangement of these two materials, that is conductors and insulators, we are going to take a capacitor. The capacitor can store the charge in a small space. Now here conductor and insulator, we discuss what is the differences between them. Now when a conductor places an electric field, what happened, and when an insulator places an electric field, what happened, and after that by combination of that one, how the capacitor can be formed, how they can store the energy, what is the value of the capacitor. Okay, so for that, see here we are going to study about what is the behavior of conductor in an electric field. Means when a conductor is placed in electric field, what happened, what is the behavior we are going to observe. See here, this is a uniform electric field I consider. In this uniform electric field, I place a conductor. This is the conductor. We know that every material is having positive charges and negative charges. Okay, now here when we place the conductor like this, then the electric field is always originating from positive and terminates with negative. Means electric field lines are start with positive and ends with negative. When we place a conductor in the electric field, here this is representing a conductor, and here the conductor is having both positive and negative charges. When we place the conductor in this manner, now all the negative charges are attracted towards the positive charge. Means these are moving. See here, all the negative charges are attracted towards the positive charge, and these are moving opposite to the electric field direction. And at the same time, all the positive charges are moving along the electric field. Means these are attracted by the negative charge. See here, when we place a conductor in a electric field, then all the negative charges are moving opposite to the electric field, and all the positive charges are moving along the electric field, and then total charges resides, or total charges coming to the surface of the conductor. And due to this one, here a field can be formed. The inside field we are representing with EI, and the outside field can be taken as, this is in the direction, it can be taken as E0. And if you take net field in the conductor, the net field in the conductor is, this is E0 and it is EI, both are in opposite direction, then the total field become 0. So we said the first point in the behavior of a conductor in electric field is the total charge is moving on the surface of the conductor, hence inside the electric field become 0. This is the first point. What is the first point? In the behavior of the conductor in an electric field, that is the first point is the electric field. Important point, electric field inside a conductor is 0, that is E equal to 0. This is the first point. Now see the second behavior. The second behavior is, from Gauss law we know that surface integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. This is known as the Gauss law. But when we are applying the Gauss law for this conductor, then the total charge means Q by epsilon naught is equal to surface integral E bar dot ds. Then What is the electric field inside the conductor? The electric field inside the conductor is 0. Due to that, the Q is also 0. From this, what we said, whenever a conductor is placed in a electric field, then the total charge inside the conductor becoming 0. See the two behaviors of the conductor in electric field is, first behavior is, when we place a conductor in an electric field, then what happened, all the charges is, means negative charges are moving opposite to the electric field and positive charges are moving along the electric field. Due to that, the net electric field inside the conductor becomes 0. The first behavior is, the net electric field inside the conductor is 0. This is important point. And the second one is, from Gauss law, we know that surface integral E dot ds is equal to Q by epsilon naught. But whereas electric field inside the conductor, when it is placed in electric field, is 0. We are substituting, the charge becomes 0. So from that, what we said, inside of the conductor, whenever it is placed in electric field, the net charge is also 0. And the third property or the third behavior is nothing but the total charge resides on the surface of conductor. Remember this one, the total charge resides on the surface of the conductor. So first behavior is, when we place a conductor in electric field, the first point is net electric field inside the conductor is 0. Second point is net charge inside the conductor is 0. And the third point is the total charges resides or coming to the surface of the conductor. Now the fourth property is, electric field just outside the conductor is normal to the conductor at every point. That is, see, for example, it is a charged conductor, it does not have a particular shape, it is an arbitrary conductor. Now here we know that when conductor is charged means when it is placed in an electric field, then the total charge is coming to the surface of conductor. And the fourth point is nothing but the electric field on surface of conductor at every point is normal to the conductor, means it is, these are the electric field lines. These electric field lines are always normal to the conductor at each and every point on the conductor. So this is the fourth property. So this is the behavior of the conductor when it is placed in a electric field. The first point is, remember, very important, the first point is, whenever a conductor placed in a electric field, then the net electric field inside the conductor become 0. Next one, the second property is, when electric field is 0, then the total charge inside the conductor is also 0. And the third property is, here the total charge in a conductor when it is placed in a electric field, then the total charge resides on the surface of the conductor. And fourth one is, when we take a charged conductor, the electric field lines are always normal to the surface of the conductor at each and every point. These are the four important points related to behavior of the conductor when it is placed in an electric field. Once again, the points are, first point is electric field inside the conductor is 0. Second point is charge inside the conductor is 0. Third point is total charge resides on the surface of conductor. Fourth point is the electric field lines always normal to the conductor normal to the any point on the surface of a conductor. Now the important concept is, generally we are going to ask, this is important question for 2 marks, that is electrostatic shielding. So first, what is electrostatic shielding? So for that I give a simple example. Whenever in the rainy season, at the time of raining, the thunders are coming. The thunders are nothing but electrostatic force. Whenever you sit inside the house, then the house will protect you from that from the thunders. Means here a shielding is there. That shielding is nothing but the house can act as the shielding which will protect from the electrostatic force, that is nothing but from the thunders. Similarly, when you sitting in a car, also the thunder is coming, then also it will protect you from that thunder. Means here that is known as shielding. In a similar way, when you take a halo conductor means surface will be there, in the inside there is no conductor. When you place any appliance inside this inside the halo conductor, that appliance is always protected by the influence of outer influence of the electric field. So this is acts as the shield. This can be called as a cavity. Cavity is in the conductor, means which is the halo conductor can be taken. In that cavity, if you place any appliance, that appliance will be protected from external influence of the electric field. That is called electric shielding. Similarly, here also see what is the electrostatic shielding. Electrostatic shielding is the cavity, like that. Means this is a conductor, it is the cavity in the conductor, means here there is no conducting part, only conducting part is only surface. This is known as the cavity. Electrostatic shielding is the cavity in a conductor remains protected from outside electric influence. Is there any electric influence will be there? If you take any appliance placed inside this, that appliance will be protected. So that is known as electrostatic shielding. So remember this. What is electrostatic shielding? Electrostatic shielding is a cavity in a conductor remains protected from outside electric influence. What is the application of the electrostatic shielding? The application of electrostatic shielding is nothing but it will protect the electronic appliances from higher voltages. This is an important question they are going to ask for the 2 marks. Up to now we discussed the behavior of the conductor in a electric field. Now we discuss about the insulators. In this chapter we call it as the dielectrics. What is the dielectric? Dielectric is nothing but these are non-conductive substances. They have no charge carrier, which is nothing but the insulator, but means which are placed in a capacitor to separate the both the conducting plates. Okay. Here dielectrics are the non-conducting substances. They have no charge carriers. Nothing but these are the insulators. And here there are 2 types of the insulator dielectrics we are using in the capacitors. Those are, one is the polar dielectric, another one is the non-polar dielectric.
Go.
Now see what is the polar dielectric. Polar dielectric means polar, that is centers of positive and negative charges are separated. Those can be called as polar dielectrics. They have permanent dipole moment. We know that here the Q into distance between the 2 equal and opposite charges is known as the dipole moment. So here when you take the polar dielectrics, then the positive, so centers of positive and negative charges are separated. That is, for example, the examples are HCl and H2O. Here you take HCl, H represent 1 charge and Cl represent 1 charge. For example, it is positive charge and it is negative charge. Those are separated with certain distance. Now it acts as a dipole. Okay, these are permanent. If you take HCl, then all the HCl elements or molecules are existing in this manner. Okay, so these are permanent dipoles can be there. That type of dielectrics can be called as the polar dielectrics. No need to apply any external electric field. They already having the dipoles inside. And coming to the non-polar dielectrics, the centers of positive and negative charges are coincide. For example, if you take O2 molecule, one is the positive and another one is the negative, then these are not separated. These are like this. These are not separated. This is the O2. Whenever we apply the electric field, after applying the electric field, then only these are forming the dipole. This type of dielectrics can be called as the non-polar dielectrics. Polar dielectrics means already dipoles are formed inside without any electric field. Those are permanent dipoles are there. Those can be called as the non-polar polar dielectrics. That is, in the polar dielectrics, the positive and negative charges are separated. But whereas in the non-polar dielectrics, the positive and negative charges are not separated, those are coincide. Means here no need to apply an electric field to form the dipole, but whereas in the non-polar dielectrics, when we apply the electric field, then dipoles are formed. This is an important 2-mark question. Polar dipoles are nothing but the positive and negative charges are separated, those are having permanent dipoles. Non-polar dielectrics are nothing but the centers of positive and negative charges are coincide, but to take the dipoles in that material, we need to apply an external electric field.